that's the movement of the Holy Spirit in the community, whether you're Christian or non-Christian, when you're able to use the power of the written word to inspire and motivate people to want to take responsibility for their community and want to be able to do something about it. And the fig tree does that. Communicating credibly is something the fig tree is masterful at. Now, why is that so? The fig tree has credibility because it acts as a mirror and reflects back the truth. And in doing so, the community recognizes the truth and resonates with what the fig tree is giving voice to.
If they're going to look at having these coal trains, go to the Pacific, you have to look at the cumulative impacts on all the communities. It's not just the impact on that port community, it's the impact on all the large communities and population bases like we have here in Spokane.
We as individuals and the entire global economy also fall under God's sovereignty. So we have to think carefully about the proper responsibility of government as an interplay with all the other structures in our society that also belong to God.
When I think about the fig tree, I think about a mechanism, a vehicle, a way that allows the community to communicate with itself about matters of consequence.
The public must be vigilant to regulate and control any privatization of public resources. It's in our hands. But it must also be in our hearts and in our words and in our actions. We are called to study and act for the benefit of all. Still much to learn.
And certainly this type of journalism is about raising the collective consciousness of the community for the greater good in matters of actions as it pertains to justice.
I think people are finding it's networking. I notice, for instance, at the breakfast, people tend to linger at the tables and continue to network after the breakfast is over, for instance. So I think it's a way of networking. Yeah.
There's very few instances in the community, other than schools, where there's intergenerational communication. And I think that the fig tree is a medium where all walks of life, all matters of life experience on the age continuum are able to have a forum, a community forum, to be able to exchange ideas, to critically think through the issues, and to be able to hear the call for action when things are obvious to them, whether they're young, whether they're old, whether they're rich, whether they're poor, whether they're Christian, non-Christian, whatever the case may be, what matters to them as a member of the Spokane community.
I have found that I've learned a lot about the community in editing. I had no idea of the variety we had here, and I've come to appreciate all different points of view, although I don't always agree with them.
I always learn something new, and things that seem very disconnected when you just look at the topic of a story. Very often we wind up with a theme, unintentionally, because things mesh so well.
Somebody has to give voice to the miner's canary idea. Where is the toxicity in a community? And certainly hate is toxic. And being able to identify it, name it, proclaim it, and take responsibility for it by acting upon it. And I think the fig tree does that. I know the fig tree does that.